Go, we are going to see both of our players here going for the respective buffs. The bows, the sportsmanship on display. Shame others didn't do it. As we are going to see both of our players here, we see the run into center here. Forced in there, we are going to see the HTS. Oh, Nori's taking a fair bit of damage right off the bat. The backstep. Back in once again. We see that, oh, managing to catch it. Nice little bit of damage. There's a funny combo in the Giza wheel that it's difficult to land it just because of how reactable the weapon is. But if you manage to get the right read, oof, you can do an awful lot of stuff. We see the jump attack come out. We are going to see Marcus's beautiful spacing coming out here. I imagine both of these players are actually America. The inescapable! The chainsaw, out it comes. Oh my word. That BS, man. I believe that's an inescapable. Oh! There we have it. We are going to see both of our players going for this. You got this, Nori. I believe in Marxist is, of course, a homie. So both players haven't been in many tournaments, if memory serves. You see the jump come out. Out comes the jump R1, comes through there. We are going to see, of course, Nori here force back Marxist back into the corner here. But the comrades are going to have a Yo, what? Sorry, excuse me? And they'll wake up. There's going to be not for breakfast, unfortunately. What on earth? My brother's out here playing DS1. My god. Nori definitely has the style points. Tries to go for the roll catch. Not able to do it. We are going to see a slight roll catch there on the side of Marcus. Marcus is playing a very, very slow game here. He's going to play the long one. He's going to be trying to use that extra little bit of bleed pressure just to force him into a bag, because he has to be careful, though. Here's the funny one about bleed. If he gets procced and Nori decides to mash, he's actually going to be in a really bad spot. The jump comes out, is going to get an interrupt. Both players are remarkably close, and we're going to see the bleed proc go through, not quite able to make very much out of it. Of course, Marxist is going to be interrupted again. Both of these guys are putting on one hell of a show, you know. The R2 comes out, being very careful with it now that he knows that Nori likes those BSs. You know, you can backstab those run R2s, but not to be sneezed at, as we do see the off Rokiers, I'm going to imagine, coming out here. But Nori is very low. He has to be careful. I believe he's going to be one shot here if he's not careful. And, you know, there's a considerable life disparity here. I don't believe either player have their tiers up. That's going to be Nori very low. The bleed proc comes through. Cannot force trades in here anymore. The run attack comes out. Isn't going to land. The empty jumps against a Colossal. I think Comrade can just force a trade. Siri, of course, is going to be up against the wall. We see the Sacred Blade coming out here. Getting a nice little bit of damage. Just a smidge. No hit on Siri just yet. The robustness tally, oh, I spoke too soon. We are going to see the Shamshir come out. The good damage from both of our players right off the bat. And we see these jumps coming through here. Siri, of course, getting a nice little bit of damage. The jump comes through. The hyper armor, though, is not to be sneezed at, as we are going to see the pressure short spears go burr. The jump R2. Siri, in a spot of bother, does get her footing again, though, as we do see that. And that's going to be Siri taking the W. Set up, so it's kind of the decision Rule Set Committee came to, unless banning all spears was an option. Force back now. Siri, we are going to see the shear come out. Force back now once again. There is counterplay here if he plays it patient, but unfortunately the patience there did not give out as he was stuck in the corner. Bugs is in a spot of bother here. If he's not careful, he's going to be in. Has he even gotten a hit at him? Well, I spoke too soon. He definitely has now. Caster's Curse comes in once again. Siri keeping up that pressure. Jump L1 comes out. We do see the sword dance. Immediately trying to take pressure there is the side of Siri, but ends up walking into it. Oh, the damage that comes out there. Another little bit of damage. The jump comes through. Siri is low, but now so is Bugs. Bugs has to play it super carefully. Going for this. And apologies to the jerky camera. Bugs, of course, now is chilling like a villain. He's going to have to play this much more cautiously. You do see the... I love that that has gone back into vogue. And the mash here on the side of Siri is just really solid. And again, look at that. The Sacred Blade is out. Has that ability to get extra bits of damage. We see very, very beautiful spacing here on the side of Siri. Force back now once again. Takes another little bit of damage. Siri up against the corner though, but we do see the roll of the Frost proc. And on those procs that force you out of animations, it can be very, very useful at times to just mash out of them. Sword Dance comes out. Hyper Armor doing Hyper Armor things. Sword Dance in response. Forcing out there. The run attacks come out. We have both Millicents and... Not just we just have the Rotten Wing. I think we do have Force back out. Good strafe of it though. They're both going to spam that at each other. For almost getting that roll catch there. We do see the proc of the multi-hit damage tallies. Another little bit of damage. Bugs is on the back foot here. Force back now once again. We do see the rollouts here on the side of Siri. And of course, we're going to see Bugs play it very careful. Good jump on the side of Siri. Bugs is in a bad spot on the jump. Change that. Here, we'll get a static cam for just a second. It's of course going to be only waifu versus. Waifu. And it's Legion. There we go. Good enough. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. The admin. Last round of semis, we are of course going to have Legion, who is on the Hull Shear, versus the Sham Shear here on the side of Waifu. And we are going to see some really nice damage coming in here from the side of Waifu, but has a life disadvantage. The Legion of Waifu is a terrifying thought, folks. Okay. And there we go. We're going to see this now. The trades coming out here. Legion is actually kind of... Oh. We do see the Frost proc here, but a little bit of damage on the board. But it does manage to get rid of it nicely. Legion taking a nice bit of damage. The Halberd Runner 1 does come out, though. The Frost is a good choice. Unfortunately, though, he can be rolled in on. Although the Shear does kind of deal with that a little bit. The Run R2s come out. Good spacing here on the side of Waifu. I forgot my own golden rule from before. We're just going to very quickly toggle. Good spacing here, playing that really slow game. The Waifu's still in it, but does manage to get interrupted. The runouts here again. And the gravity fans then to follow up is going to get hit. After this, I will reset the world flag just so players can see their ping in case they're not using. Oh! And the bolt is out. We are going to see both of our players are going to be very, very careful. That is a good point, actually. Argentina versus Brazil. I'm not sure. Oh, nice. Both of them are on one-handed shear for the time being. We do see that swap back over onto one-handed. It's actually not a bad play to go for the carry and retaliation. Not for any serious damage that it's capable of doing. The mash out there. Legion has a life advantage once again, but it's not quite as far as you might be led to believe. The two-handed shear, especially with the sacred damage on it, can do an awful lot of work. Especially now, given that Legion isn't choosing to go with that Flame Strike. Flame Strike is the better option on Halberd, just because it stops those roll in. It's of course going to be Legion who's going to be the Brazilian player. Only Waifu's Argentinian. If I wasn't doing health bars, I'd have the little flags and stuff, but oof, force back now once again. Actually taking an insane amount of damage. An insane amount of damage. Goes for the parry here. Not going to get it. Legion is messing around here. Messing around here. And might be putting a spot of bother if he's going to continue to meme. Oh, the roll catch! Kind of hella adorbs, bestie. For real, for real. We are going to see both of our players here taking up the very aggressive positions here. Obviously, Waifu, of course, trying their best to try and, like... They play the game much slower. Legion is formidable, having experience in both DS3 and, of course, now in one of the first Elden Ring SA tourneys for PC. One of the first ones. Waifu, of course, forced back against the corner. And there you go. That's the corner pressure that, of course, you have with the off-sham shear. Having that backswing, stuff like that makes it very, very good. Getting hit there in kind of a neutral. I believe that if Legion aggresses from neutral, the shear obviously gives him that little bit. Has to be careful though now as the side of Waifu forced up against her. They're going to Mayweather their way back up, managing to get that. Not able to spam their way through here, though, unfortunately. It's going to have to be a shoot and scoot sort of deal. Does not punish that pivot either. Legion actually is at a life disadvantage here, but it's unclear as to how this one is going to go. You know, obviously Legion is a phenomenal player here, but this could go either way. All of these matches have been relatively close, and we're going to see those trades come out. Waifu is on the back foot. We do see the tier proc. I believe Legion's tier is also procced. We do see the swap back. Oh, trying to get that nice bit of Sacred Blade out. Doesn't manage to hit, unfortunately, and we see Waifu up against the ropes here as well. Backswings, of course, managing to get those hits. Goes for a running attack here. Legion! For the front. Bolt is out. We are going to see both of our players here going for their respective buffs. What was it? Oh, High Toto used to call them. The Glintstone Craps. Oh, almost managing to get that punish. Could have dead angled the halberd there to try and get the roll catch off of the crouch R1. Not quite able to do it. Force back now once again. The shear is doing some really good work. Force back now once again. Nice damage here on the side of Legion. Legion is not happy that he had that stock taken off him and is going to do the best thing. Force back now once again. We see both of our players playing it. We almost gets the pivot, but the unlock is actually going to get him caught. Legion is not playing around anymore. The space in the corner. Mayweather out here. Mayweather in the corner, just about managing to get out of that one. Oof. Uh-oh. Only Waifu's gonna have to... not gonna...